Have you ever had the feeling that your cat has rules, and somehow you're the one constantly breaking them? You sit down in your chair, and suddenly it's their chair. You close a door, and it becomes the most important door that has ever existed. You try to pet them, and they look at you like you just violated an unspoken agreement you didn't know you signed. And here's the strange part. They never explain the rules, so you're left guessing. Trial and error. Occasionally, minor injuries. Now you might be thinking, cats just do whatever they want. There are no rules. But that's not quite true, because cats absolutely have rules. They're just not the kind that come with instructions. And once you understand them, a lot of those confusing, slightly dramatic moments start to make a whole lot more sense. So stick around, because one of these rules near the end explains why your cat suddenly decides you're unacceptable mid-pet. 1. The consent is temporary rule. Let's start with one that catches almost everyone off guard. You're petting your cat. Everything seems fine. They're relaxed, maybe even purring. And then, snap. No warning, no announcement, just a very clear, that's enough. Now, here's what's interesting. Your cat didn't suddenly change their mind. They were signaling the entire time. Subtle things like tail flicks, ear turns, slight muscle tension. But those signals are easy to miss if you're not looking for them. Think about this for a second. Cats don't think in terms of keep going forever. They think in thresholds. There's a point where stimulation goes from pleasant to overwhelming. And once that line is crossed, they end the interaction. Not to be difficult, but to stay in control. And that leads to something even more surprising. Because sometimes the issue isn't how you're petting them, it's when. 2. The timing is everything rule. Have you ever tried to interact with your cat, and they just walk away like you offended them on a personal level? Same cat, same person, completely different reaction. Here's what's happening. Cats are incredibly sensitive to timing. They have natural cycles: active, hunting mode, resting, observing. If you try to engage during the wrong phase, it doesn't matter how nice you are. You're interrupting something important. Imagine someone waking you up at 3 a.m. just to have a conversation. That's what poorly timed affection can feel like to a cat. But here's the twist. When your cat chooses the timing, when they walk over, sit near you, or nudge your hand, that interaction tends to go much more smoothly, which raises an interesting question. If timing matters that much, what about control? 3. The I initiate or it's suspicious rule. This one explains a lot of those why did you leave moments. Your cat jumps onto your lap, settles in, gets comfortable, and everything is calm until you move your hand. Suddenly, they're gone. Here's the part most people don't realize. Cats are far more comfortable when they initiate contact. It's not about affection versus rejection. It's about predictability. When your cat starts the interaction, they know where it begins, how it feels, when it might end. But when you initiate suddenly, it introduces uncertainty. And uncertainty in a cat's world is something to evaluate carefully. So when they pull away, they're not rejecting you. They're resetting control. And once you start noticing this pattern, another behavior starts to make a lot more sense. Because your cat isn't just controlling interactions, they're also controlling space. 4. The your house, their territory rule. Let's talk about that moment when your cat walks into a room, looks around, and then chooses a very specific spot to sit. Not randomly, strategically. Maybe it's the middle of the hallway, right on your keyboard, or directly in front of the TV. Now, from your perspective, that's inconvenient. From your cat's perspective, that's prime real estate. Cats think in territory maps. They're constantly asking, where can I see the most? Where can I be seen the least? Where do things pass through? So when they sit in these spots, they're placing themselves where information flows, which means when you move them, you're not just relocating a cat, you're disrupting a chosen position. And this is where things get interesting. Because once a cat claims a space, even temporarily, they expect consistency, which leads to one of the most quietly powerful rules they follow. 5. The consistency equals safety rule. This one doesn't feel like a rule, but it shapes almost everything your cat does. Cats rely heavily on patterns. Same feeding time, same routines, same general flow of the day. Not because they're rigid, but because predictability reduces uncertainty. Think about this for a second. Your cat doesn't check a clock. They check patterns. So when those patterns change frequently, different schedules, random routines, it creates a low-level sense of unpredictability. Not panic, just instability. And that's when you might notice more following, more watching, subtle changes in behavior. Nothing dramatic, just a cat trying to figure out what changed. And if you've made it this far, you're officially seeing behind the curtain a little. And somewhere, your cat is probably nodding approvingly like, ah, yes, they're finally getting it. So go on, hit that like and subscribe button, and leave a comment while you're at it. Now hang on, because this next one explains a behavior people constantly misunderstand. 6. The attention has rules to rule. Have you ever noticed your cat asking for attention and then rejecting it? Almost immediately, they rub against you. You respond, and suddenly, you've done something wrong. Here's what's actually happening. When cats seek attention, they're usually looking for a very specific type of interaction. Not just attention, but a certain kind of touch, a certain intensity, a certain duration. If the response doesn't match what they had in mind, they disengage, not out of moodiness, but because the interaction no longer fits their expectation. It's a bit like ordering coffee and getting something completely different. You're not angry, you're just not interested anymore. And this is where everything connects. Because your cat isn't being unpredictable, they're being precise. Which brings us to the rule that ties all of this together. 7. The "we communicate, you just don't speak cat yet" rule. At the beginning, it felt like your cat had no rules. But now, it starts to look different. The tail flicks, the timing, the positioning, the way they start and stop interactions. That's communication. Just not in a language we're naturally fluent in. Cats don't explain their boundaries with words. They express them through patterns and signals. And once you start recognizing those signals, the relationship shifts. Instead of, "Why did my cat do that?" it becomes, "Oh, that actually makes sense." And suddenly, those confusing moments become predictable. Not because your cat changed, but because you learned how to read the rules they've been following all along. So remember that moment at the beginning? You sitting there, your cat giving you that look like you just broke some invisible law? Turns out, you probably did. But not in a bad way, just in a way that didn't match their expectations. And the interesting part is, your cat isn't asking for perfection. They're asking for a little consistency, a little awareness, and a little respect for how they experience the world. Because to them, life isn't random. It's structured, patterned, quietly intentional. And when you start aligning with that, things get easier, smoother, more predictable for both of you. All right, I should probably go check why my cat just claimed my chair again, like it came with legal ownership papers. I'll talk to you next time. FurEver.